This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we'll see about validation part, then we'll see what is substitution. So normally this validation is used while posting any particular document. If you want to make any field is a mandatory, and make sure that that particular field is entered according to the requirement from the business requirement side. Okay, so example, while posting any particular document, system should check whether that particular field, whatever the field user entered, so that one is exact the word which is specified by the requirement from the validation side, whatever the we set in the validation. So using that validation, we can use it. Okay, so let me give you example of how it will work validation. So whenever you want to make one field is a mandatory. Example, text field. Let me make this field little bit small. Okay, text field. If you want to make text field is a mandatory, what options are available in SAP? While posting one entry in F.02, you want to make the line item text is a mandatory. Where will you do? What happened? All are so silent.
The field status group.
One is field status group. Yeah. Okay, so in the field status variant, under field status group, another place, one is the field status.
Another one is posting keys.
Yeah, posting key level. Another one is posting key. In case of header data, document header data means reference field and document header text. You'll be able to control using this tool.
Document type. So if you go to document
so
type,
document type, header data you can control by document type. Okay, so these are the options are available. So you can make this field is a required entry field in the document header data level for document header text and reference field, but remaining all fields in the line item level fields you control using the field status group and the field state this one posting key level. So apart from these two, we can validate, means we can make any field is a mandatory using the validation. Okay, so why you need validation? We have already field status group and posting key level. Why we need validation? First of all, so why don't we make any field is mandatory directly in the field status group level or posting key level? So if you make any field is a mandatory in the field status group level, that field status group is assigned to any GL account, particular GL account it will be assigned. Okay, whenever you post any entry to that particular GL, system will always check that field is a mandatory. So you have to fill that field. Then only you will be able to post the entry. But user requirement is whenever I post entry in FB60, then text field is mandatory only in FB60. Okay, I don't want any other transaction. Okay, only in particular FB60. So if we enter for particular GL account, then it should be mandatory, and the text also should be entered by user is purchase invoice or vendor invoice, something like that he has to enter. If he will enter anything else, system should give error message to him. Okay, so we can validate particular field by making mandatory, as well as which data he has to fill. That one also we can specify in the validation level itself. Okay, so both can be done at the validation level. Okay, so I'll give some real-time example. Okay, so in the material it is there. Okay, all are real-time example only. Whatever we have done in the real time, those examples are considered in the material. So we will create some validations. These validations are common in ECC as well as in S4HANA. Okay, we don't have any difference. So if you want to make any field is a mandatory, and that field is whatever we specify in the validation, exactly the same is entered by user or not. Okay, so system will check. If it is not entered, system will give error message. Okay, so that is validation. Example, when we are posting rent expense. So whenever you post rent expense, so user should enter in the reference field, okay, or in the header data text field. So that will be rent expense or building or, okay, so anything else, admin expense, something like that you want to specify in the validation. If he will enter anything else, system will give error. Okay, he has to put whatever we specify in the validation. So that is the main purpose of this validation. Okay, so we also have substitution. So using the substitution, even if user will not enter anything in the field, system will update automatically. So that is a substitution. It will substitute the value. So example, you entered rent. So, but in the substitution you have written, okay, so admin expense. Once you post the document, automatically system will update admin expense in the text field. Okay, I'm giving example of text field. You can use any other field also for the substitution. Okay, so whenever we want to substitute any particular field, we can use it, substitution. So that is the main purpose of substitution. We will do both validation, substitution, both creation. Let's see. Okay, so let me go to the system now. So whenever we are creating validation or substitution, we have option to define at company code level each substitution. Okay, so we use transaction code OB 28. So this is a validation screen. So we can create our validation by selecting new entries. Here, when we are creating validation, we need to assign to our company code ALLP, and validation creation column point. You are writing validation at document header data level, document line item data level, or complete document level. We have column point. So that is document header, line item, complete document. Okay, so let's select line item level. Then here is a validation we need to create. We have not created it. So once we define that, we will assign. This is the activation level. whether this validation is active or inactive. Okay, so we'll activate later. Now to create validation, just double click on this line item. So it will take you to inside this validation screen. Yes, there are some other already some validations are available. Okay, so now we are going to use our validation. So to create our own validation, click on create validation. So this is our new validation. So I'll give validation ALLP VAL. Validation for ALLP. Okay, now inside this validation, we need to insert a step. The step contains what is the validation we are writing. So we need to write there. Click on that step. So this is our main validation. You can insert. So here many steps. Each step can contain each validation. Okay, so this one I'm making maybe text field. Mandatory for FB60. Okay, if it is already mandatory in the field status group, we'll make optional. But system will give message, error message. Whatever we specify in the validation, that error message will give system. Okay, so now this is the name. Whenever you write validation, we have prerequisite, check and message. These are the options are available. What is a prerequisite? What is your condition? On what basis you are writing this validation? So my condition is, if company code equal to ALLP and transaction code equal to FB60, then check the text field. Okay, so that is my validation. So I'm writing here prerequisite. In this, whenever you see here this side table fields, document header, accounting document, this one segment. So in the document header, we'll find company code data. Okay, so double click on this. You can activate technical name as well. This is the technical name. So here is a technical name, here is the description. What I want? Company code. So I can search from here also, company code field. This is the search option. Company code. Okay, here is a company code. So normally BKPF BUKRS is the company code. Okay, so whether here we have BKPF, go back. So you can also go to this system structure fields. So here also we have transaction code details. Okay, go back. Here is a segment. All. Here is a BKPF. So here BKPF hyphen BUKRS is our company code. Here BKPF hyphen BUKRS, because BKPF is a data table, BUKRS is a company code field. Double click on this, it will come here. You can't write anything here directly. You need to always select fields from this available field. Okay, now company code equal to So here is a symbol. Click on equal. Then our company code is LLP. That is a constant field. Click on constant. Then enter company code ALLP. Okay, I have written company code equal to ALLP and click on and. Then what else I want? Transaction code. So transaction code is here in this. Transaction code equal to constant FB60. If you want to write anything else also, we can write here. Maybe GL account equal to this GL account. Okay. So then we will check. We will write a check. So if you have written some incorrect value, you can delete using the from cursor. It will delete up to here. Now click on check. Here, what is the check you want to write here? So check is in B cell, text field, find text. Okay, here is a text. Text not equal to blank. Okay, press enter. Then, so whenever this one is a blank, the system will give error. Okay, so he has to enter value. But if you want to check, text should be vendor invoice or purchase invoice, something like that. You can write like that also. Okay, so let me delete this. So text equal to constant vendor invoice or text equal to constant purchase invoice. So instead of making just a mandatory field, what I'm writing, user has to enter vendor invoice or purchase invoice. Then only we'll be able to post invoice. Otherwise, it will give error. So this is the validation. Okay, these two are the fields. Now, finally, message. Whenever error message comes, user should know what he has to enter. So why error is coming? What he has to enter? We need to give this message number details. Whenever you get error, always you will have an message number, and you will also see that description of that message. Okay, so that you will understand and do the relevant configuration or whatever the error reason. The same way, we also need to maintain error message. The error message contains enter text, vendor invoice or purchase invoice, so that user will be able to enter that information here. So to create this message, so right now we don't have message. You can click on this pencil, maintain messages. So it will come to this screen, change mode, object lock request and separate task, choose the display object. Okay, so this object is locked, it says. Go back. So we can create our own messages. Okay, actually a Weber will create if you want, but we can also create. So using SC91, we can create our own message number. Okay, normally it will allow in ECC here. So, but here is the object is locked, it seems. Okay, so it is not allowing to do that. Okay, here all the messages will be there. So these are the different messages. Okay. Okay, let me go to another screen. I'll go open one more screen, /o SE91. Here is a message class. What is the message class here appearing? Message class is this one. Okay, then change. Let me search again with the message class. EAPC star. Why it is not taking? Okay, we missed this slash. Let me enter slash also. EAPC slash manual underscore document. Manual underscore posting. EACC. So you can select any one of that number which you want to maintain. I kept my cursor on 009 and I'm going to maintain description of this one. Okay, so click on maintain logon language. Now here enter text with purchase invoice or vendor invoice. Okay, save. This is workbench request. Create one workbench request. So I have maintained this one in logon language. If you want to maintain in the original language as well, we can use. Okay, let me go to this message. This one, translation, any other language. Original language is in German. Target language is English. So it is already in English. That's why it is allowed. Okay, now let's go here. Check that message number 009 has come on here. Here is the now 009. Select that. Press enter. Then it will show that enter text with purchase invoice or vendor invoice. Okay, now our validation is ready. Okay, just save. So when you save here, system is not generated transport request. Right? How to move this validation to the next client? You need to keep the cursor on the validation, then go to validation and transport. Manually, you have to do this validation transport. System will not generate automatically transport. And if you have this validation contains 10 steps, all 10 steps you need to move together. You don't have option to move only one step. Okay, if you want only one step, remove that remaining 9 steps. Then once you create transport request, then add again. Okay, so when you click on this one, transport, when you keep cursor on the step, you don't find that transport option here. You have to keep cursor on validation, then go to validation and transport. Here you will find. So remove transport sets. So what is this set? I'll explain. Because if you maintain this one, if you move this transport with the set, it will create problem. So let's remove that, return, execute. Okay, done. Go back. Now go back. Select our validation here. Then activation level, active. Save. Now go to FB60. FB60. So I'm posting vendor invoice. So I'll enter sales invoice here. So I'll enter invoice. That's it. I'll not enter anything else. Invoice. You see now, message is coming. Enter text with purchase invoice or vendor invoice. Until you enter this one, user cannot post this. So see, must be corrected. Item 001 must be corrected. So it has to be vendor invoice or purchase invoice. So this is the validation. We made validation. So user must enter here purchase invoice. Example, I'll enter purchase. Okay. So even if you maintain caps lock, their capital letters, the same need to enter here also. Okay. Otherwise it will give error. Now simulate. You will not have any error. We will be able to post. Okay. So this is the validation. So if you don't enter that value, system will keep on giving you error message. So that message, whatever message we have created, the same only will appear. Okay, so using the validation, you can make any field is a required entry field. Along with the required, we can also specify what content has to be filled inside that field. Okay, so that also we can specify in the validation. So in case of substitution, we'll go to the substitution now. Okay, so if we don't enter anything, example in the FB60 itself, even if user will not enter anything in the text field, I want to fill this text with the purchase invoice automatically. So system will fill automatically this field based on the substitution. It will substitute the value. So that is the substitution. Okay, to create a substitution, We'll go to OBBH. So it is also similar how we have done the validation creation. Here also substitution is also similar. So select new entries, give company code LLP, call up void. Maybe I'll take line item only. We can also take header data also. So double click here, substitution, new substitution, provide here ALLP SUB, substitution ALLP. Okay, now insert step. So while introducing the substitution, which field you want to substitute, we need to select initially itself. Okay, example, I want to substitute text field. Okay, continue. So when you are creating substitution, either you want to maintain constant value or user exit or field to field assignment. Three options you will find. Constant value means whatever value you enter there, that will be automatically filled in the document. User exit, so we are going to create a code, means ABAPer will write a code inside that, how to fetch that value and how to fill that value automatically. The field to field mapping is, you have some data in other field, whatever is there in that field, that data should be filled here also automatically. So from field to field assignment. Example, you have some data in the which one will take maybe some data which user has already entered, or some GL account info you want to enter in the text field. So whatever is there in the GL field, that will be filled automatically in the text field. Okay, so this one is field to field assignment, exit and constant. So we are using constant value. Just select the first area button, continue. Now right here, text field, substitution for FB 70. We'll write for FB 70 now. Okay, so when you come to substitution, you will find prerequisite and substitutions, only these two. You will not find the message. Okay, but in the validation, you will find prerequisite, check and message. In case of substitution, you have prerequisite and substitutions. So double click on prerequisite. Here we need to write here. So what I'm going to write, company code equal to, company code is here. Company code equal to constant ALLP and transaction code equal to constant FB70. Then substitute. What I'm going to substitute value is sales invoice. So value should be automatically filled in the text field sales invoice, even though user will not enter here. You can also move the transport request using this one. Here also remove that transport sets. Okay. Okay, so do it again. Transport, remove the text and execute. I'm saving the same transport. Now activate this, our substitution. Okay, save. Let's go to FB70 decode. No, I don't want to save that. Okay, so /n FB70. So here I'm selecting customer. So I'll enter something else here. Okay. But what system will do? System will update automatically sales invoice. Now, what will happen if you go inside this? You see here sales invoice has come. If you go to this line item, sales invoice. Even if you go back again, you will see here sales invoice. Here is also sales invoice. I entered some letters here. So system will automatically fill this field from the substitution. That is the purpose of substitution. Even if user forgets to enter that field, system only will update automatically using the substitution option. Okay, so when you go to substitution or validation, example, I'll go to validation. So inside this validation, whenever we create a validation, example here, company code equal to ALLP and system, this one transaction code equal to FB60, and I want to specify the GL account list as well, or vendor account list. Okay, example for 10 vendors, then only you specify this text is vendor invoice or purchase invoice, only for the 10 particular vendor, or for and GL accounts. So instead of entering GL account equal to so and so, here the prerequisite, in case you want to write a GL, and then here, go here, bisect, we will select GL. Let me search GL. Actually, G/L. Okay, so that is GL object, it says. Here is a GL account. So GL account equal to constant 200, 120. Now again and have GL account equal to 200, 121. So like this, if you have 50 GL accounts, you want to enter 50 GL accounts. Instead of entering GL account, the GL account, or the GL account, or the GL account, so it will be, you are going to fill entire this box with the GL account information. Instead of filling this GL account information here, we can create a set. So that set contains the values. The set we will insert here. Instead of entering values here, many values, so we will insert set. So this one using this set directory. Go delete this value, keep the from the cursor, delete. Even you have 10 company codes, you want this validation should work for all 10 company codes. So I gave here company code equal to ALLP. Then or company code equal to ALLC or company code equal to ALL. Yeah, like that you need to write. Instead of writing so many times company code equal to this one, company code equal to this one 10 times, we will create a set. That set contains all 10 company code information. Okay, so that's how we will introduce here. Okay, now example and GL account in. We need to use in. Then set ID will introduce here. Set directory will be com. So whenever you insert in, then only this set will activate. Otherwise, it will not activate. See, if I delete that, set is not in the active. Once you insert in, then only this set will come. So to create a set, we need to go to authority code GS01. So creation of set is done directly in the quality production system. Okay, it will be created in development also, but user will have flexibility to edit values in the set or add values in the set. Okay, delete values in the set, but not in the validation or in the substitution. So that's why whenever we are moving transport request, we always make sure that you have not moved your sets. Okay, if you are doing the implementation project, it is the first time you are doing, then fine, you can move your set. But after implementation, so already system is in the live, they are using from past 6 months or 7 months, then you need to make sure that set information is same in the production system as well as in the development system. If set contains only 10 values in development but 50 values in the production, whenever you move transport request from development to production, 50 values will become 20 values. Means it will overwrite. Entire information will be overwrite. It will create critical incident or high priority incidents. Okay, so sometimes it will have more impact in the system. That's why you need to make sure that whenever we are moving transport request with set, it's very dangerous. Okay, you need to make sure that that set information is deselect and try to take a backup of all these validations on the sets. Now I'm giving set name. Set name is a GL name or ALLP GL. Okay, so that is a set. Table is BSEG, BESEG. So here we have basic set, single set, multiple set. Normally you select basic set and proceed. Okay, so let me enter Z here. Table BSEG does not exist. Why? Okay, so if it is BSEG is not exist, we will take other table where we will have that set information. One. Normally you will find this basic table in ECC, but here it is not showing. It is showing the GL, profit center, or other table, total table. Okay, let me close again. So earlier I selected reporting table. That's why all total related table was coming. Now I selected our victory related tables and structures. Okay, hopefully we should get now. Let's see. Okay, meanwhile, if you have any question related to this, you can ask. Okay, so it is taking some time, I think, here.
So if you are writing more validations or substitution, so that will impact the performance, right?
No, there is no performance issue here, so it will control. You are making more control while posting the document. That's it.
Yeah, while posting, I mean to say all these tools to be checked and then the document has to be posted, right? That point of scenario.
But it will work. It will work fast only. There will not be any issue for the performance side.
Okay. So
there are many validations and substitutions will be written some clients. Okay, more than 50, 60 also will be there for a single company post.
So even if it is exit also the same scenario.
Yes, yes.
So if I add some G field in the standard layout, so that will be controlled with the field status variant.
So that G field may not come in the field status variant. So if you want to make that field is mandatory, ask Aweber only to do that mandatory because it is added by Aweber, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is if that is the case, then we can use the substitution rules and then maybe validation can control.
Yeah. We can do that. Okay, since that field will appear, so we can write our this thing validation. But again, that field should come even in the while writing validation also, right? So we are taking here with help of field. So in the table field also should appear, then only we'll be able to write. If it is available in the screen level but not in the here, then we can't write. Yeah.
Maybe with the equip, maybe it might be possible. If it is not available, maybe if it is available in the different table, we can do that validation.
Yeah. Okay, so it is taking some time. Okay, let me take again.
Suppose what will happen if it is a manual, that's fine. Suppose if it is automatic posting through programs, then how it is going to be handled?
Even for automatic postings also, system will check and post. Okay, so we need to make sure that the field is filled automatically by the system using the substitution.
Yeah, if it is a substitution, there is no problem. But for the validation, it should be entered with it should be entered some value, right? So we should not
So for the
apply.
validation, yeah, for validation, so we need to make sure that any system posted entries, okay, so whether that will be filled automatically from other source or it will give error. Okay, so you can't post that entry. Skip those transactions, whatever is posted automatically.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to show this set. Okay, so I'll try to select whatever was already created. Any set is there. So GS01 to create set, GS02 to change the set, GS03 to display the set. Okay, so we have many sets here. Let me select one set and show you how the set is look like, because it's taking some time here. It's not allowing. Okay, for example, I'm selecting this set. So this set contains like this values. So you can give here values from and to, or you can give that entire GL account list. Then this set will be inserted in here, validation. Okay, so in set directory, select that set ID. This is the set ID. Insert here. So what will happen? Whatever is there in that set, all the GLs are applicable for this validation. So if I go and remove some GLs in the set using GS02, then the GLs are not applicable for the validation. So that is the main purpose of this one. Okay, so it's not allowing to change, but normally it will be allowed to modify that set. So instead of touching the validation, we can remove some values from the set and post transactions without any issue. That is a set. Okay, so I'll show you some validation and substitutions used in the live environment. Okay, let me find those entries. Validation and substitution.
Sir, is it also possible to create a drop-down list?
Which drop-down list?
For example, for text, so
Mhm.
we for drop-down list for text.
We need to go with user exit in that case. Okay, with the help of Avabar, we will provide that, because it is help, right? You are asking about help from the list. Instead of entering user, you will have to select that like purchase invoice or vendor invoice, right?
Correct.
The drop-down list. Okay, so not in the constant, we need to go with ABAP help for that. So now this one, validation and substitution material. So using OB28, we will be able to create. Here are some validations. Example, if you look at this validation here, this validation is BKPF-BU gas equal to 6000 company code, means company code is equal to 6000 and your GL account equal to this GL account. Then what needs to be entered in the header data text? BKPF header data text, what they have to enter? Building, other admin, office or computer. Okay, they have to enter any one of these 4 fields. Whenever they use this GL account, header data text should be computer, building, office or. If it is not entered, system will give error. That error message is written here in this number. This number shows enter building or other admin or office or computer. Okay, so this is one validation. Okay, so you can tell the same validation even in the interview point of view. Have you created any validation? Yes, I have created validation for document header text. The requirement is for the GL code, which is expense GL code. So user wants to enter building, other admin, office or computer in the header text. So whenever they post to that GL code, that should be the text in the header data text. So that is a requirement from the client. So how will you fulfill? By writing this validation. Prerequisite, company code equal to the your company code and GL account equal to the GL account, the check. Check will be here. So in this place, we have written for the text field. Okay, here is this one, then message. So one more validation. Whenever we are uploading GL balances, cutover data, the posting date, upload posting date should be that cutover date. So sometime by mistake, if we upload some other date, then system will accept. So system should not accept that. We will write validation. So always that posting date should be the cutover data upload date. So this one is 31 December 2009 upload date. So company code is this one, and we say HCONT. Here you see in and they use this set. This is the set. So instead of writing here GL account equal to this one, if you have 10 GL accounts or 50 GL accounts, instead of filling here all GL account information, we will create a set. That set contains all GL accounts. So whatever GLs you added in the set, that is applicable for this prerequisite. Company code equal to 9000 and GL accounts, the list provided in the set. Then check is BKPF hyphen BUDAT. BUDAT is equal to, now whenever we have written, we will see the description, not the technical name. Here you see technical name, but system will show the description also now. Then you will give the date. Then enter the correct date for the upload GL account. That is the text. Okay, even here also normally that should come. They are not entered, that's why it is not showing, but the message is there. Enter the correct date for upload GL account. So that is 2 validation. You can tell 2 validations. Okay, so the first one is more relevant for the interview point of view to explain. The second one is also you can. Now substitution. What is the use of substitution? You can substitute value automatically. Here you can find some substitution. This substitution is for which transaction? This one company code equal to this one, system T code equal to FBCJ. FBCJ cash vendor and account type is K. This one business transaction. Whenever they use the business transaction, employee impress, then system should automatically update posting key to 29, GL account is this one, special GL indicator I. This is the constant value only, updating substitution in FBCJ. Okay, so that is one substitution. Other substitution for FBCJ is, okay, so the same employee salary advance. Whenever you give employee salary advance using FBCJ, then this GL account should be filled automatically. Okay, so we will keep that. Then here is a exit. So substitution for MIRO, that is for invoice posting from materials management. You see here many substitutions are there here in this, almost 10 are there. So substitution for business place, section code, advance to vendors, employee impress salary advance, loan. Okay, so different are there. This one is substitution with user exit. You see here user exit. This user exit contain this one U910. U910 is a user exit. What is here in this company code equal to 9000 and team code equal to MIRO, then posting key, account type, indicator, line item, all this will be filled based on this user exit written by the ABAP. So what is there in this user exit? This is the exit I gave for your info. If you double click on this, not only that user exit, you will find other user exit as well. Okay, so example U910, you see here. So here code is written by ABAP. What it happens? Okay, so exit, insert exit list. So we'll find that user exit, more details. Here, this one here. So all these details are available here. This how user exit. Okay, so it is a code you don't understand. Leave it this one. Now go to. Let me close this. Okay, so FBCJ partner bank type. So whenever they use the T code FBCJ and vendor account type is K, that is account type is K for the vendor. Partner bank field. The partner bank field. This one is a field to field. Okay, so field to field. We have one is constant value, other one is exit. The third option is field to field. So whatever is available, where is that? Whatever is available in the other field, the same has to be filled in the partner bank type field. BKPF-XBLNR. XBLNR is the reference field will be filled. Okay, so this one is a field to field mapping. Whatever is there in the other field that you want to fill here. There are some more validations here. If you look at some more validations. So this validation is cash expense more than 20,000, then system should give error message. See, assignment field is required entry field for a business 49, 28 and 29. Assignment field is required for 49 as well. This one, OB 28. This for cash gender. Cash gender, type, company, this one expense, GL account, then amount should be less than 20,000. So cash payment greater than 20,000 not possible. That is the error message. If user enter more than that, system will give error. So the other field like assignment field is a mandatory for every 31. These are the some substitutions are available here. Substitution and validation. This one is a validation. This one is assignment field is not filled. For FDAS 28 and FDAS 29, system will give error. Okay, so these are the validation and the substitutions. Okay, so do practice, and whatever I mentioned, that you can tell in the interview point of view as well.